I feel like people struggle sometimes with appreciating relationships, appreciating all the different stages in relationships. I see a lot of people and they get really hyped super fast for the beginning of a relationship. But as soon as the next stage comes in and the relationship's no longer in infancy and it starts being in the childhood stage, the terrible twos, toddlerhood, they bail. They don't tolerate each other anymore. And by skipping out, they are skipping out on the next stages where the relationship, maybe gets, unfortunately, into the rebellious teenager stage. And then after that, they've got an adulthood relationship where they are having such amazing in tune communication, having real successes and solidarity, feeling a sense of normalcy with each other and contentment with each other, an understanding where they're just in sync. And a lot of people, it seems like, don't think the frustration is worth it. And part of that is because they don't want to deal with stuff right now. They want instant gratification. And some of it is, I think, people are afraid of the end of the relationship. And they're so afraid of the end of the relationship, they'll barely get past the start of it. It is true that every relationship ends, even if it's not during a lifetime, but because the lifetime ends and we all die. And so people can be a little avoidant of each other. I see a lot of statistics and input. I've been watching some videos and stuff of even just people's experiences with it. But in general, I love to read research. And sadly, a lot of research has been coming out recently about loneliness and suicidality, and really sad. Like, the levels of isolation are really tragic. No matter what kind of relationship you have, there will always be a group of minimum you and this other person, but we need more group dynamic. And there's a lot of research to support it, and a lot of the research gets, given cute little names to help it absorb easier. The stages of group development are forming, when the group's first getting together and everyone's overly polite, trying to put on their best front forward face, their most amicable self. And then, it starts storming. Oh, you're starting to lead? No, I want to be the leader. Oh, why is that person not doing enough work? I'm working way more than them. Like, there's a bunch of cattiness and gossip and undermining each other, a lot of power struggles, people pursuing status or oppressing others, and it can be difficult. It can be. Even if you're just on a one-on-one dynamic, miscommunications, trying to learn to live with each other, get past the awkwardness of discovering who you first met and that initial impression not actually being reality. There's a lot there. But if you can unpack it, you start getting to norming, and that's where things start to become more predictable, starts to feel more like habitual, more acceptance. And then you start performing. And performing is where things are going great. You're way, way better at producing amazing results together than you ever were the whole rest of the time. And you are thriving. The whole dynamic is just incredible. You feed off of each other. One person gives you that look and you know exactly what that look means, and you go do it, and it's just like you're in tune, you're in sync. And then at some point, there's a transforming stage. And the transforming stage doesn't have to be, it's over. Any group dynamic, whenever you add someone or remove someone from the group dynamic's going to have to go through the stages again, and you're going to have to reacclimate to each other. It all goes back into the storming phase, and then you go back up to performing again. But if you don't stick with it, you never get to experience the performing stage. If you don't ever actually put in any effort, if you don't stick around and show up, you miss out on the best part. And people think, oh, the start of the relationship is the best part. The puppy love, the honeymoon phase, the, young love, that's the best part. But it's not actually the best part. It's just the part we idealize because we're scared of the risk of getting to the better part. Because there is a hump, there is a barrier, there is a fence to climb over to get to those parts. But don't rob yourself. Don't deny yourself meaningful and significant and fulfilling relationship dynamic, group dynamic, because you're too intimidated by the storming or the transforming stages. Appreciate the stages that you go through as a group, even if it's just a you and one other person group. I genuinely feel like a lot of loneliness would decrease if we had stronger senses of community and being able to interact with each other and be close with each other. There's such a tremendous amount of growth that comes from being in or part of a group, from having that teamwork, from having those multiple people to hang out with, to have fun with, to laugh with, to get that reaffirmation that, yeah, you're cool to more than one person. Yeah, more than one person can like you. Hanging out with you is cool to them. It's hanging out with you is meaningful to them. It's meaningful to you. You have people who have your back and you support. There's just something really precious about that. So don't rob yourself of that. Yes, there's some hard parts of being in a group, but the hard parts are temporary.